the wildest thing about the Ghislaine trial is like she went to jail for trafficking to who knows who. The fact that you could just put her in jail and who'd you traffic to? Like none of that gets out in the trial at all. That's crazy.
Also, so after the death of Charlie Kirk, we've been watching Joe Rogan deal with the deep state speeding up his plans and him not really dealing with it well, because now Joe Rogan is like friends with Donald Trump, all the billionaire guys that are taking over the world. And, you know, I don't have a problem with him being friends with Donald Trump. That's what he wants to do. But the problem is, it seems like he is regretting it because this Epstein file stuff is not going away. And one thing we can all agree with, the whole American populace, Republican and Democrats, is that people should not be banging kids, right? One thing we're all across the board with. Well, Joe Rogan here has to sit here, and it's funny watching him deal with the fact that the Republicans are doing everything in their power to protect Donald Trump from the Epstein files coming out. And this is him dealing with it. Watch him slowly come to terms with the fact that he's being lied to.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah, man.
And then next thing you know, you're donating money to whatever the fuck they tell you to.
But it's like, how many senators just voted against releasing this shit, man? It's just it's like there's two votes that are happening. The UFO disclosure thing, they keep voting against that.
Yeah.
And the Epstein list, they keep voting against that.
Right.
What? And also, politically, it can't serve you to talk about a bad list. The list of people who said, let's protect people who like have done horrific shit to kids. You don't want to be on that list, but whatever's on that list must be so destabilizing. 51-49.
Okay, the Senate voted 51-49 to defeat an amendment that would have forced the Department of Justice to release all files related to Jeffrey Epstein. The vote was largely along party lines, with 2 Republicans joining all Democrats in supporting the amendment.
Oh, wait, not both sides. It was the Republicans voting against this shit.
It says 2 Republicans joining the Democrats in supporting the amendment to defeat it. So why are the Democrats interested in defeating it?
Well, let's ask. No, I think this is saying that the Democrats want it to come out and the Republicans don't.
Okay.
And party lines. Let's ask Perplexity, why won't they release the Epstein?
So I was going to. There's Eric Swalwell, who's, I guess.
I read it wrong. Read it wrong. No, so the Democrats were not. The Democrats were pushing this. The Republicans fought against it. Okay. I fucked it up. So 51.
Exactly, Joe Rogan. And this is my thing. Why do they not want the Epstein files to come out that bad? And at first, I wasn't a big Epstein file guy. Like, I didn't really pay attention to it. I know a lot about it because I'm an internet person, but I wasn't involved or interested in it or cared about the files coming out. And honestly, I also don't necessarily believe that everyone that is on that list is guilty. We know that, or we assume that most likely Jeffrey Epstein was an agent of some country, right? Now, we may or may not know what country that was, but he was an agent. And if that is the case, then whoever he honeypotted may or may not have done something. But you know what I'm saying? That doesn't mean, so he may have tried to get them. And look, maybe 90% of those people were guilty, but I think it is reasonable because we already know like all the people he's connected to, from Bill Gates to Donald Trump. So with all of that being said, why is this the issue? Like, you could just say, hey, he was an agent. He tried to get a bunch of American businessmen in trouble. That is the reason why he was hanging around them. They were targeted by him. We do know some of these people did something wrong. We're going to go after those people. Some of these people didn't. We don't have any evidence that they did. That's nuance. That's the reality. That's probably the reality, right? The problem is this, and I'm going to tell you what it really is. I don't know if we will see it come out in these 4 years. Probably not, because I think Donald Trump would blow this country up before he let it come out. But this is what I will say. The craziness picked up after the Epstein files, right? Not only that, but most people, and I don't understand why the right never got this because it wasn't a secret. Jeffrey Epstein's the person that he is on camera with the most. Right. So the most pictures with, the most video with, the person that he called his best friend was Donald Trump. If Donald Trump is supposed to be in the Epstein files, right? He should be. If he wasn't, that would be confusing, right? So I don't think that it's just that. Whatever's in the Epstein files has to be worse than him just being in there. Because you got to think about it. How would it be that Jeffrey Epstein is you allegedly signed a birthday card for his birthday? You know what I'm saying? You flew around the country with him. You were on camera dancing with him. You have pictures together with celebrities. Like, he's on audio calling you his friend, his best friend. So again, I think that if anybody he got dirt on, wouldn't it be Trump first?
Be Trump first.
Like, come on. So that's my whole thing is it has to be bad, and it can't just be, I don't want my name. Because my whole thing is Donald Trump is the king of reality doesn't matter.
Right.
So something bad comes out, that didn't happen.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So I just feel like, especially if he really was innocent, he really wouldn't care.
Yeah, definitely.
So, you know what I'm saying? So for him to fight this hard, for the Republican Party to fight this hard, I just don't get it. Because I feel like they would accept, especially because of the Trump derangement symptom, he was a super powerful man, super popular, they tried to get him. That makes sense to me. That's not a crazy story. What are you so afraid of? That's what I don't get. Like, y'all ready to blow this country up over this shit. Like, I just don't get it.
Literally.
So, and maybe you just don't want to give the Democrats a talking point. Maybe you just don't want to, like, you know what I'm saying? Whatever. But at this point, it's way worse than it's putting it out. Because that is the only thing that, like, well, one of the main things that Democrats and Republicans can agree upon.
Right.
Which is don't play with kids. Like, we don't do that. And so he's going to go on to talk about it. I'm going to let them continue. But this is crazy. So, and also one last thing. This proved to me, and I don't know if some of you people may be Joe Rogan fans. I used to be a Joe Rogan fan. I used to be a big Joe Rogan fan. I was a Joe Rogan fan because I thought Joe Rogan was a liberal.
Right.
He was a liberal when I was following him. This is the same man, the only man I've ever seen destroy Candace Owens. You get what I'm saying? Like, that's who he was.
Right.
And also a bunch of other right-wing people where, you know, where he was standing up for, you know what I'm saying, the little guy. So I thought that's who he was. Joe Rogan was the fighter / hippie guy to me. Then, you know, he became the right-wing dude. And now the same billionaire, like, conspiracy theory guys that he used to talk about, you know what I'm saying, with Eddie Bravo on the show, all of that shit, he hangs out with them. Now he's one of them. You know the president. You spent a 2 or 3 years railing against the Democrats about the woke left and about free speech. And literally you have the president of the United States, Donald Trump, saying, we just gonna take away free speech because y'all don't know how to handle that shit. You know what I'm saying? We gonna y'all can't burn flags no more because it pisses off too many people and sends people in a frenzy. Like, when does that ever happen? You know what I'm saying? So,
I thought that been illegal though. No,
they just, you're able to get in prison for like a year for some crazy shit.
I thought you.
No, it's not in this country. That's the whole point of having free speech. You know what I'm saying? So that is literally just eroding the foundation of our country. And again, maybe you are a Republican and you're okay with everything Donald Trump is doing. What I'm trying to say is that is not the Joe Rogan that I signed up for. And so it's weird watching him literally just not say the thing that we know you want to say. Come on, bro.
Be going off.
Come on, you telling me that you ain't got a Donald Trump joke in the fucking tank? When we talk about Epstein, you just gonna not say his name throughout this host? Come on, bro. Y'all crazy. This is a man that is compromised. There's no way. Even if you want to say that Joe Rogan is a supporter, this is not support. This is blind loyalty.
Yep.
And it's sad. This is not like, I'm just ashamed of him because I used to think that he was a man of principle and character, and you're a coward because you're doing this when you have hundreds of millions of dollars. You put You don't get, that's crazy. You got hundreds of millions of dollars. Like, these people had to come to you to get on your show, and you don't have the fucking nuts to fucking say nothing. You know, like, come on, bro. Like, this is weird. It's weird knowing how conspiratorial. This is the same guy that taught us about all the fucking government conspiracies that they tried to cover up, and I can't get over this level of fucking weirdness from the dude. But you gonna see.
The 49 is crazy. So they just voted along party lines. So they're probably told to do this.
Right. So what the fuck's in there, man?
Well, so then they've been, not only is the government shut down right now, I think that might affect it some.
Told by who, Joe Rogan?
But they're in recess, Congress is. And so this, Eric Swalwell said this stuff today. Again, it might not be true, but.
It's coming to an end, guys. I've spoken to a lot of House Republicans this week, and they confided that Trump's movement support is fading. As one told me, this Epstein bomb is about to drop, and no one wants to defend a protector. It's just a matter of time, Swalwell said in a thread. One Republican just texted me that if there's a discharge vote on Epstein, they expect a jailbreak of over 100 members. Trump will go nuts, he added.
So they said, this further goes on to say that if they get back, that this is the first thing on the docket, and that's sort of what's holding them back in recess right here.
Wow. We are watching wild history in real time.
Dude.
This is a wild scene.
Oh my God, dude. You don't want to, did you listen to Martyr Maid's episode on Epstein?
I've listened to it. I didn't finish it, but I get creeped out by that guy.
It was the...
But you sat in the room with his best friend and had a lovely conversation while you helped him campaign for the country. I'm just putting it out there.
What?
He interviewed Donald Trump before he got elected. This was the thing. It was a very big thing. And so, yeah, I think that's a problem.
Suspicious.
Very, very suspicious. That's what I'm saying. And then, these are some wild times. Yeah,
Right, like
you
what?
and it's like crazy when somebody's talking about, look, I know that you don't have maybe you don't have Donald Trump's number, but you can, number one, get in contact. Number two, you definitely have Don Jr.'s number. For fuck sure. And my whole point is like, I don't know. Again, you don't call them whatever. It's just weird to act like you don't know these people and to act like you don't know what's going on and to act like you're not super invested and you didn't talk about this for years like everybody else, that you probably like aren't one of the main reasons why people know about this shit anyway. Like, this is crazy.
The problem is a lot of those guys wanted him to be real because what fun. What fun. You get to hang out with Jeffrey Epstein. Everybody thinks it was kids, and there probably was a lot of that because
Definitely.
I don't know what the actual accusations have been, because the wildest thing about the Ghislaine trial is like she went to jail for trafficking to who knows who. The fact that you could just put her in jail and who'd you traffic to? Like none of that gets out in the trial at all? That's crazy.
Also, can we talk about this crazy that Donald Trump is now floating and has floated like 2 or 3 times, letting her out of jail? You know what I'm saying? And even like sent his personal lawyer to go meet with Ghislaine Maxwell after he moved her from the super high max federal prison she was in to the lowest level prison, to the point that they don't even have, from what I understand, even have like bars and shit, like just like a regular building and shit.
Room and stuff.
Who was supposed to be one of the worst female human traffickers of all time, and you send your personal lawyer to go talk to her after you move her into a cushy new prison? Why did she get moved? Again, crazy.
And they do.
And you know what he won't say? Donald Trump.
Right.
We're right in front of your face.
That's fucking crazy, dude.
So you don't know we hear it was underage girls. We know that there was some of them were underage for sure. And then we also know that some of them were not underage. They were young women. And you know, they all have, like, one of them wound up dying recently. One of them that's been a whistleblower died.
Yeah.
Like, you imagine you're a young girl and you're fucking broke, and then you meet that guy and he invites you to go on a fucking island somewhere or party somewhere.
I didn't want to hear this. Like I said, I really just wanted to shine a light on this because I've been watching him do this for a while, and I haven't spoke on Joe Rogan in a minute. And it's just sad watching the tap dance. It's sad watching him not say what he wants to say. It's sad, like, it's weird. It's like, how do you talk about everything in a situation, but like leave out like the most important? It's weird.
The elephant in the room. Come on out.
And then to be the guy that built his platform off of like being super open-minded, off of being honest, off of being like, opinionated and like transparent, like just super cool. And the thing that makes me mad about Joe Rogan and seeing like all of these things that's happened is like, you know, Joe Rogan is the most popular podcast that black people listen to and has been for a while. And so for you to have been able to do that, that means that you spent a lot of time, whether you did so knowingly or unknowingly, making black people feel comfortable.
Right.
And I feel comfortable, you know what I'm saying, for a long time. And so then to, you know, watch the shift and the rhetoric and just everything is just sad. And so I don't know. I just wish we get the old Joe Rogan back, and I hope that at some point he draws the line, says the truth, and stops dilly-dallying and bullshit. Fucking around, you know what I'm saying, and tell us what's up. But yeah, so we'll see how this evolves. Let us know in the comments how you feel about Joe Rogan and his recent, you know, issues with the truth, and we'll keep you updated as the story evolves.